Today I'm coming in from the Be the Change book study group that we're going to be doing based on Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And today we're going to be talking about chapter 2 and verse 2 of the Tao Te Ching. Last week we talked about verse 1, and I thought that verse 1 was very, it was just very deep book study group that we're going to be doing based on. And so anyhow, it was very deep and maybe a little challenging to jump in and actually apply to our life. But we need to set the foundation. And today, I think that I really find the second verse of the Tao very interesting. And what I'm going to do now, let me see if I can do this here. I am going to, let's see. I am going to share my screen of the verse. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is the second verse of the Tao Te Ching, and it's the second chapter in the book. Under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty, only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good, only because there is evil. Being and non-being produce each other. The difficult is born in the easy. Long is defined by short, the high by low. Before and after go along with each other. So the sage lives openly with apparent duality and paradoxical unity. The sage can act without effort and teach without words. Nurturing things without possessing them, he works, but not for rewards. He competes, but not for results. When the work is done, it is forgotten. That is why it lasts forever. So it's funny because this really kind of paints a picture for the whole yin and yang. And I don't know that yin and yang is really tied to this, really. But when you think about it, it's the opposites, right? We know beauty because of something that is ugly, right? We know, what were some of the other things? We know difficulty because of things being easy. We know struggle because of what seems to be easy. We know joy because of sorrow. So it's this opposite, but without the opposite, do we even have beauty if we never had anything that was ugly? And one of the things that they talk about is how important it is to not be judgmental, beauty is a judgment. We're judging people by saying they're beautiful, and we're judging others by saying they are ugly. How can we eliminate judgment and just be who we are, who you are, who they are, the ugly and the beautiful, and not judge them. So I'm going to share a few things that I see here in the book, and I haven't been able to do as in-depth study on each chapter, and especially this week like I had hoped, just because it's been so busy, but I'm going to do my best to share some thoughts on here that we can apply this in our life. So live a unified life, okay? This is making us think of, it's important to have the ugly with the beautiful. Enter the world of oneness with an awareness of the propensity to compartmentalize everything as good or bad, right or wrong, beautiful or ugly, are standards of the physical world, not in the Tao. Contemplate the insight of the duality is a mind game. So it's all in our head. In other words, people look the way they look, period. Criticism is not always necessary or helpful. See the unfolding of the Tao inside everyone, including yourself, and be at peace with what you observe. Be a good animal and move freely, unencumbered with thoughts about where you should be and how you should be acting. For instance, imagine yourself as an otter, living your otterness. You're not good or bad, beautiful or ugly, a hard worker or a slacker. You're simply an otter, moving through the water or on land, freely, peacefully, playfully, and without judgment. When it's time to leave your body, you do so, reclaiming your peace in the pure mystery of oneness. This is what Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching, means when he says, when the work is done, it is forgotten. That is why it lasts forever. In other words, you don't have to leave your body to experience forever. It's possible to know your eternal self, even in the embodied condition. When duality and judgment crop up, allow them to be a part of the perfect unity. When other people create dichotomies, you can always know oneness by practicing the Tao. So that's interesting. And there's a lot of knowledge, I think, in that passage that we can learn from. I have, over the last several months, had many deaths happen close to me that weren't really friends or family per se. This year I've had quite a few, actually. Some were friends and family. Some were church family. A lot of them were church family. And you have to look at it as them going back to the mystery of the oneness and be okay with that. And that's challenging. But what can we do to not judge and not push our preconceived notions on other people and just be, as they say, like the otter, where we just live our lives without agendas, without ego, without pride, without being better than others or beautiful or ugly. or a hard worker or a slacker. And we do judge ourselves, and we judge others. And I have had a situation where I know a leader that is frustrated over the political world right now and shares things that I find to be negative. And you know what? Reading this chapter, reading this verse, made me reevaluate the way I respond or approach that person. And some of it is by sharing positive outlooks or different ways to look at things. And it isn't a direct attack or connection to that person or with them. I don't say it to them. I don't say it on their wall, in the cyberspace. But I just put it out there, and it's based on some of the things that I see posted. And some of that is a judgment, and it's not that I try not to think that I'm better than anyone else, because everyone is great and they have their own strengths and weaknesses. However, I want to see a better handling of the way they put things out there. And, reading this, I have to ask myself, who the hell am I to judge anyone or to try and push them in any direction? It's not what I should be doing, maybe. And so I have to question my own judgments and my own thoughts and beliefs. And that's something we all have to decide when we move into studying the Tao, is how does it affect our life personally? But my goal is to continue to work on myself, to better myself. And I'm hoping that through my actions, people will see that I've changed, that I've improved, and ask me how I did it and want to be a part of it. And I can push them out on their journey to go on their own journey, working on themselves. It's not me telling you how you should be. It's you internalizing the Tao and the verses and finding ways to apply it in your life. And my goal is that you'll be able to spread kindness and respect and love and peace and eliminate hatred and judgment and blame and name calling and all that kind of garbage. So anyhow, we hope that you will join us. You can join our group if you like this conversation. It is go to Facebook and do a search for Be the Change. It's all caps. And we look forward to having more members. We also want you to join us for more as we study this book. And it's a good book, and I think it can change our lives and change our minds. And let me just share one last note, and the reason that I'm personally doing this is I went through sales training probably about 6 or 8 years ago, somewhere in that range, 7 years maybe. And by changing a few of my beliefs that I had, it opened me up to new ideas and allowed me to change my thoughts and my beliefs, my world, really, because I changed my thoughts and my beliefs. And so I know that this actually happens when you apply it to your life. And so that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I think if the world gets exposed to being open to work on themselves, to change their thoughts, they will certainly be able to change their lives. And anyhow, I'm no better than you, but I think it's an interesting journey, and I would like to invite you to join us on it. So go ahead and get in the group and sign up for the webinar if you haven't already. And I believe that is, I forget what the URL is for that, bit.ly/Be the Change webinar, maybe. But it is on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to find it there. Do a search for it on the Facebook page. But the Facebook page is Be the Change, all caps. And we look forward to having you join our group, and I appreciate you watching the video. And please share your thoughts or comments, or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, which this will be on, and we'll share more thoughts and just be the Tao. Thank you so much, and have a great day.